Hello, it's been so long since I posted a YouTube channel video, but I did want to make a tutorial on how I make my scrunchies. And a lot of people had commented on my TikTok asking how to do a tutorial, and they said that they were like making scrunchies, but they didn't really know how to make it. This is my tutorial and this is how I do it, and this is the way that's worked for me for a long time. So there are some things you will need for this. So first you'll need a pair of scissors, obviously. You'll need some pins, fabric, measuring tape, elastic, and then something to attach it all together with. And I use my sewing machine, which I got for like $50 off of. This is my fabric. You don't have to go out to Joann's or Michael's to get fabric. I literally get all my fabric at Walmart. There's a section that's like a quarter of a yard, and it's 97 cents. It makes like 5 scrunchies. I can normally get 5 scrunchies out of 1/4 yard. This scrap of fabric measures 42 centimeters from here to here, and then about 10 centimeters here to here. You can always shorten it a little bit if you wanted less scrunch, make it longer if you wanted more scrunch. You can change like the sizing of it here if you wanted it to be thinner or thicker. All depends on what you want. What I do, you don't have to do this first, but I do seal off one of the edges so it gives a nice clean edge and it won't fray. So I just take one side, and you want to take the side, so obviously this is the side that will be on the inside. I don't know if you can tell, but the pattern is less noticeable on this side, and you can kind of see white on the places where it's black and gray and brown, and on this side you can't tell at all. So I would take, this is the outside of the fabric, the one that you want facing out the end, and this is the inside of the fabric. So it's also going to be called right side and wrong side. So you're going to take the edges and fold down onto the wrong side. So this is the right side and this is the wrong side with the flap on the wrong side, and then you'll pin that together. And I would definitely recommend using pins too. It's so much easier. Hopefully this can give you a better idea of what I'm talking about. So you can see right here, you can see like white going through it there, and then on the right side, the side you want facing out, you can't really see any white on the bone or the paw print. So once you have it all pinned together, you want to bring it over to your sewing machine. This is the one I use, and I have it set in the shortest stitch length possible with just a normal straight stitch and like a forearm tightness. I don't really know what this does, but it's what it was set on when I got it, and I keep it like that. So then I just sew straight down here. What that stitch did is it gave us a nice clean finished edge, so whenever you sew your scrunchie together, this side won't be frayed, and it's nice and neat, and there's going to be no strings coming off of it. Next, you're going to pin it together so you can sew it into a tube. So basically what that means is that you're going to take the fabric and you're going to fold it over, and you're going to fold so the wrong side is on the outside, and then you're going to pin it together. And then what this does, you'll sew down the pin line again, and then you can flip it so the right side is out and the stitches will be hidden, and I will explain what that means in a second. So now I've pinned it into just a tube, and then you're going to go ahead and sew, just kind of sew down the line there. So this is what it looks like when it's done being sewn. And what I normally do is I take scissors and I cut as close to the stitches as I can, just to get rid of that raw fabric edge that has all the threads hanging off of it. And what this will do is, for one, it will make this scrunchie a little bit less lumpy on the inside, and it will also help just neaten things out on the edges. Once I've done that, I'm going to take the tube and I'm going to turn it inside out. So what I do is I just start at the edge, I put both fingers in, and then I put my thumbs right next to it and I just flip it open. And then I work at it a little bit so it folds open, and then I just use my finger to push down in there and then pull it out. So next is time for the elastic, and I found that elastic actually works a lot better than hair ties. I mentioned this while filming, but I think my camera cut off. Anyways, the elastic I use is 3/8 braided elastic from Walmart, and I will insert a picture of the packaging here if I can find it. This is a really It's a great size. It's not too small, but it's not too big either, and you can easily pin it and sew it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to thread the elastic through the tube. What I do is I just take my safety pin, push it through the end of the elastic, so it's like this, and thread it through. You have to make sure you hold on to the end that does not have the safety pin, otherwise you will lose track of it in the scrunchie. And you can always pin it or safety pin it to the other end too if you need to. Then I just make sure that the elastic is not twisted up on the inside. Then I remove the safety pin, take the two edges, fold them right on top of each other, and then once I've gotten it clamped down in there, I remove the pin so it's just held together by the presser foot, and then I sew down. Once I've sewn down the elastic, I hit the reverse stitch button and sew back up. This just gives it some additional strength. And then after that, I make sure the seam right there is lined up perfectly around the edge, and it's not going to like twist in the middle or anything. And then we have the two edges here. One is the raw edge and one is the one we sewed earlier. So we're gonna want to put the raw edge inside of the one we sewed earlier, and then I just sew down and I follow the seam that was made earlier. After that, the scrunchie is done. So anyways, I hope this tutorial helps some of you guys learn how to make your own scrunchies, and obviously you can hand sew if you don't have a machine. I hand sewed scrunchies for like a long time, like a couple months before I actually got a sewing machine to make them with. But having a sewing machine makes it so much easier. So if your mom has an old one, if your grandma has an old one, aunt, uncle, cousin, grandfather, whatever, if they have an old sewing machine that they're not using, ask if you can use it. Thank you for watching this tutorial. I forgot to mention this, but if you do make scrunchies, go ahead and send me pictures of the scrunchies you made. You can tag me on TikTok, on Instagram. I will leave everything in the description below. Twitter, I already said Instagram. But yes, thank you for watching. Check the description for links to all my social media, and subscribe because I might be uploading more videos, like college and stuff like that. So thanks for watching.